Coming at you in this video is the Czech Aircraft Works Sport Cruiser. Ever since I noticed these babies on their collaboration with Piper in 2010, I've always wanted to take one of these out for a test flight, and I finally got my chance. The Sport Cruiser was introduced in the United States by then Czech Aircraft Works in 2006. Later on, Piper Aircraft adopted the Sport Cruiser as the PiperSport, including the LSA as part of their fleet in a collaboration with Czech Aircraft Works. Piper made some slight modifications to the plane, but essentially it stayed the same. The plane is in the light sport category, which means it falls under some certain requirements. Cessna also released their version of an LSA, the 162 Skycatcher, which was also a Czech-made aircraft manufactured specifically for Cessna. But in the end, like Piper, Cessna made the decision to sever their ties and terminate their stake in the LSA market. Federal aviation regulations require such aircraft to have a weight restriction of no more than 1,320 pounds, a max stall speed of 45 knots, maximum of 2 seats, and fixed landing gear. The light sport category created a way for new pilots to train in newer aircraft. LSAs are lighter, more fuel efficient, and are just fun to fly. But they do have their limitations. You can't use them in IMC conditions, and you can only have one other passenger. But if you can trade those restrictions for a newer aircraft that'd otherwise be expensive to fly in the normal category, then you've got yourself a fun plane to fly. When Piper introduced these in 2010, I didn't have any luck locating one in my area. But after a friend of mine on Sheer Aviation mentioned that there was a sport cruiser nearby, I had to jump at the opportunity. Rather than making a half-hour flight just to fly another airplane, I opted to make the longer, more fuel-efficient and cost-effective hour-and-a-half drive to meet with Davey Amos of Amos Aviation at the Rowan County Airport. There, we took November 777 November Golf out for a test flight. This particular sport cruiser is outfitted with a Rotax 912 ULS power plant, which generates 100 horsepower while sipping a modest 5 gallons per hour while cruising. On this particular flight, our average cruise speed was around 110 knots indicated. Inside the plane, the sport cruiser featured a Dynon D100 primary flight display and D120 multifunction flight display, all paired to a Garmin 496 GPS. Watch now as I take this sport cruiser out for a leisurely flight on a sunny and clear afternoon.
Hey, Rowan County Traffic, Sport Cruiser 777 November Golf departing runway 20, Rowan County. It's County Traffic 47 on the down crosswind 24. We're going to turn downwind and depart north downwind.
The main thing you'll notice is just a little more peak system, so just as you're pulling that back, just be nice and smooth with it.
Line up here on the center line. Oh, overshot it.
It's fine. Normally I just have people kind of keep it rolling a little bit, because if you stop it, then the wheels kind of turn.
Okay, full throttle. Wow, that's a lot of travel there in that throttle.
Yep. Just make sure your feet are down on the bottom, no brakes.
Feet are down, no brakes, airspeed's alive. There's 40.
Yep, so go a little lower because I can feel the brakes tapping.
Rowan County Traffic, rally 319 Romeo Alpha. Left base,
Yep,
runway 20. Full stop, Rowan County.
There you go.
There we go. Up we go.
And you know that jet's hating life behind that tail dragger.
Yes, sir.
Probably like, come on.
Rowan County Experimental 7 Delta Mike is 5 southeast inbound landing. What's the climb speed? About 70?
Anywhere between 65 and 75 for a climb out, and then kind of cruise climb be about 85.
Okay. Traffic 751 off, turn right, turn out 24 departure pattern to the west. Davidson County Traffic, Debonair 790.
Yeah, I can tell you're smooth on the sticks because you're really not moving them at all. That's basically on this plane. You really don't have to.
And Rowan. Oh, what's our 500-foot point?
Basically right there.
Rowan FBO, Jamal 62020. We need air in the back tire. We're out at the taxiway to runway 20. Do you have any air? Yeah, we want to depart to the right, so we'll depart out.
However you want to do it.
To the south. Because I'd like to fly all the way back over to Hickory and fly over the house if possible.
Oh, yeah. Well, turn out to the right, yeah.
Rowan County, Mooney 900 Loma Kilo, turning left.
And,
20, full stop, Rowan.
What's Hickory's identifier?
Hotel Kilo Yankee.
And we'll drop our nose, son. We'll get a little slow.
Richmond County, this is 8213 uniform, about 6 miles out to the south.
All right, I got Hickory programmed in for you.
Thank you. Turning downwind 23, Shelby.
And basically this will kind of do it.
Yep.
They're magnetic, true.
Rowan
So that's what you're going to see the difference on.
Delta Mike, entering a left downwind.
That's trim. Let's see how
runway
she...
20, Rowan.
And this is mainly used for takeoff. Just tap it because there's about 3 taps before those lights will even move once.
That's 80, 85. And we want about 4,500 feet since we're on a westerly heading.
And you go ahead and drop out the fuel pump.
About fuel, 7.0 kilos, 4.5 miles north, 2,000. Rowan County traffic, rally 319 Romeo Alpha, clear of 20, Rowan County. Rowan County traffic, SportCruiser 777 November Golf departing pattern to the west, Rowan County.
Once we departed Rowan County Airport, we headed west and climbed to 4,500 feet. Reaching that altitude, I leveled off and began to enjoy the views from the bubble canopy of the SportCruiser as we approached Statesville Regional Airport.
Alright, traffic.
What's our cruising
midfield
speed?
Just as long as 5 gallons or less. So just pull it back just a little bit. Normally it comes about straight up.
Yes, sir.
You just squeeze that friction all the way. Oh, you got it.
Fuel down at Alpha 4.
Yeah, so it normally just stand about straight up, and that's where it is. Right in there is good. It'll come down. And you can bump it on.
See what our trim is. Just a
1-3 uniform.
Yeah. And once you get it, whatever altitude you want, you can hit the altitude button and it'll hold there.
Sweet.
0 remaining in the pattern, Rowan.
And I see Statesville straight ahead. Visibility in these things is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you get in the highway and you're like, man, I'm back in a coffin.
Yeah, I'm a little partial to poppers and low wings.
Yep.
From there, we continued on to Hickory Regional, where I proceeded to do a touch and go. I was surprised at how fast the airplane was going when I was on my straight and final. Davey assured me that the airspeed would bleed off, but because the SportCruiser is an LSA, the aircraft still has a desire to fly, even at minimal airspeeds. Watch here as I make my touch and go, and notice just how far the aircraft drifts down the runway before it ever touches down.
This actually has a manifold system in addition to it. But most of them just have air cleaners out on the end. They don't have any carb heat on top of it. And then you'll just do it just like you're doing a flyby. You don't try to flare it out or anything because this thing will fly with basically no speed whatsoever. So you just do it like you're doing a nice little flyby, and it'll take care of the landing for you. So if you start losing sight of your runway, so give it a little power, because if you start losing sight of your runway, you're pitching your nose too much. So just touch the right rudder. Just hold, you got, let it set. Pull your little power because we're kind of floating a little.
Yeah.
Yep, and just hang out and let it do its thing. So don't keep pulling it or keep flying, just let it set. Don't pull your nose.
Like that.
There we go.
After concluding my flight, I went back to debrief my flight using an app called CloudAhoy. Here's a screenshot of my touch and go at Hickory. You can see exactly how far I drifted down the runway from the aiming point before ever touching down, about 1,500 feet in this case. I'd attribute such a long drift due to the SportCruiser's superb ability to fly at low airspeeds, and it being my first time in the aircraft not having fully developed a sense of how the airplane handles. Still having plenty of runway left though, the SportCruiser quickly took flight again, and we departed the area to the northwest.
This one will fly on basically 35 knots.
Yeah.
So if you keep trying to stall it out, fly, it'll go all the way to the end. Yeah, you just basically fly it on like a jet or something. Just fly it down through there. Once you get the ground effect, then you just sit there and wait for it to set.
So what we'll do here is I'm going to anchor to the right here, and then I'm going to cut her to the left because my house should be somewhere down. There we go.
And of course, no flight would be complete without an obligatory flight over your own house. Since I now own a Bluetooth-enabled headset, I was able to make a call right from the plane to the house, where everyone stood out in the front yard as I flew over.
And I just want to stay clear of these mountains.
November 44 uniform, top of inbound, ILS only 24, we would like to do a low approach and then publish missed approach.
And so we'll start
uniform, Hickory Tower, runway 24, we cleared for the low approach, afterwards execute publish missed.
I'll start a circle here.
Cleared for the low approach,
we should be clear of those mountains.
Publish missed approach,
Yep, you look good.
44 uniform.
And Mom's there in the front yard. You see a little runway here off the top of this.
Yeah, I saw that. Is that model airplane?
Yeah, they do RCs
That's
there.
what I was wondering.
Yeah, and there's Mom standing in the yard. probably wave my wings a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much all I need to do today.
Once I circled the house, we decided to head back to the airport and call it a day. Despite discovering a falling camera, the return leg was pretty much uneventful. I'll spare you the boring footage and pick it back up on our arrival at Rowan, where we fly over midfield and put ourselves on a left downwind for runway 20.
I have to, there you go. Just push that button. Yep. And that's...
And Rowan County traffic, SportCruiser 7 November Golf, crossing over midfield, 1800 Rowan County. Davidson County traffic, helicopter 7 Bravo Zulu, be turn left downwind, runway 24.
And we had that one said he's inbound, so we may have to ask when we get ready to turn base or whatever if we don't see anybody.
County,
coming inbound, he's probably about 7 when he made that call, so he's probably still out there a good bit.
45 to left downwind 14.
I'm going to bring her over here to the right just a touch.
Yeah, not a problem. Fly it however you want.
And what do you think is a good rollout?
Oh, you got plenty however you want. I mean, just fly it. The only rule I use with my students, I tell them I don't care how far out we fly as long as we can glide back in. Because if we're in this pattern, we should be able to make it to the airport with no engine. I get some of these guys flying these jet patterns and Cessna. I was like, well, good luck making it in.
Traffic, Skylane 379 Bravo Foxtrot on the 5-mile final approach. And the ILS 20, runway 20, full stop landing, Rowan. Rowan County traffic, SportCruiser 7 November Golf, left downwind, runway 20, Rowan County.
All right, we're on full tank, no flaps, fuel pump up.
I don't see him out there, but
you got plenty of time at 5 miles, yeah.
I don't want to turn my...
Just ditch all your throttle right now.
Glide her in. Make a short approach.
Yep, and just keep your nose going down. We'll have to carry a little speed. You might have to S turn down there because we're going to be tight. You'll carry too much speed if we come in that short. Just keep it going out on triangle, really? Or just kind of open it up. Yeah, because see your speed you carry.
Oh, yeah.
You bring it on down, you'll really be carrying it. Yeah, now you can go ahead and kind of just square it up.
Davidson County traffic, helicopter 7 Bravo Zulu, be turn left, base direction, runway 24.
And again, just do a nice little flyby with it.
Gotcha.
Rowan County traffic, SportCruiser 7 November Golf, short final, runway 20, Rowan County.
Hey, there you go with that short final.
Rowan County traffic, Skylane 379 Bravo Foxtrot is 3.6 miles from the runway on the ILS.
Yep. Like I said, I used to say it too, but I was like, that doesn't really mean
I just like to let that traffic know where I'm
15 miles out, we'll be doing
Tell you a half mile final.
20 in Rowan County.
Okay, so
yeah, normally as it gets closer, it'll calm down, so just kind of hang out with it and just take your time with it. There you go, just hold what you got and let it set.
there we go.
Overall, the SportCruiser was a blast to fly. VFR conditions were perfect, which is the niche for the light sport category. The SportCruiser was more economical compared to some of the other planes that I fly, while achieving the same cruise speeds, if not faster in some cases. I definitely recommend taking one up for a flight if you can find one in your local area. A special thanks to Davey at Amos Aviation for the opportunity to fly a SportCruiser. Until next time, may the skies above you ever be a beautiful Carolina blue.